And what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another wrestling video. I am your boy, Andrew Hayes, and I am joined, as always, by.
Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFandom599 here again. We're back for another wrestling preview and predictions, and this time is for Money in the Bank 2019.
Yes, also in this video, we will be going over our top five Money in the Bank cash-ins. We figured we'd do a top five for this month, and we do cash-ins because, Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, to start us off. Yes.
This has been 1 year since we have done this.
And Double Nine will be attending Money in the Bank.
Yes, I will be. This is for the first time ever in the history of these previews and predictions. I will actually be the one attending the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
It's going to be very interesting to see how my perspective on this pay-per-view will be. Once, and I'm glad that we're doing the review on Tuesday, so that way I can rewatch it a bit, after the event to, still see, kind of like how you do it.
Yes. Right, and just recap, we are tied at 38.
Mm-hmm.
It is still a tie. Anyway, starting right off, our first matchup we got to predict for the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. I think that Becky Lynch should win. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I can see, because WWE pretty much has, booking schizophrenia as of late. And who knows what Vince is going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if she loses one belt or both belts or doesn't lose any. I mean, I feel like it could go either way, to be 100% honest.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think she keeps this title. I think she's going to win this match.
I also think it's a possibility that someone cashes in on her. I think it would be a little weird for 2 years in a row the women's brief Money in the Bank cash-in happens on the same night that it's won.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Becky will win this one.
Yeah, this one I think Becky's winning.
I feel like if there are, I feel like they're going to. What I feel like might happen, and this is a big possibility, that they will do the back-to-back like they did with Seth Rollins. But instead of having Becky lose the first one, she will win the first one, which would probably be against Lacey Evans, and then lose the second one, which is against Charlotte. Again, I don't know where I stand on that match quite yet because, again, it could go either way. I feel like they should have her do the two belts thing for a while, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on to the next match for the Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles.
Ooh.
I think that they're doing this match one way too early. They should have waited at least till SummerSlam.
Okay, look. If I wasn't going to this, I would have the same, critique with it. But I'm going to this, so I don't give a shit. I get to see this matchup live, so it's exciting for me.
Yes, I will go with Rollins because he just got the title.
Yeah, I think Rollins is going to retain the title. For one, he is the guy he's the guy I'm pulling for as well. Because I slightly like him more than AJ Styles personally, but like you said, he literally just won the title. And I think they want to keep the title on him for a little bit. And it's not like it's gonna hurt Styles or anything. The dude had like a full year with the WWE title, so I don't think it's gonna hurt him in the slightest. So yeah, I think Rollins is going to retain the Universal title. However, you want to know who's going to be the real winner of this matchup?
What? Who? You?
No,
the fans.
Us.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next match. The Money in the Bank ladder match, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, I should say, with Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Ali, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Randy Orton. I mean, I said this before. I feel like there was a missed opportunity with both matches where it's having 8 instead of 10. I feel like they should have had 10.
Mm-hmm.
get more people included. And thank God they took out Strowman. I did not think Strowman needed to be in this match. I was worried that he was in this match because like, how are they gonna stop him? And like, still, I don't think Corbin should be in this match.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like he has a chance of winning, and he doesn't, and like the matches wouldn't be good. I did, however, write who I think, like, okay, so I put down 10 names of 5 from Raw, 5 from SmackDown, who I thought should have been in this match. For the most part, I would say I do like who's in the match. I do like how they got rid of Sami Zayn, or got rid of Strowman and had Sami Zayn replace him. Because I think that helped out the match a lot. But you know, who I have staying from the Raw side is Sami Zayn, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre. But I did replace Baron Corbin with Antonio Cesaro. I don't know why I said Antonio, but Cesaro.
I got it.
And
I've been called Antonio Cesaro in like 5 years.
But that added 5th person is Robert Roode. I feel like they should do something with him, make him, and he would be, the match would benefit from him being in that. Actually, for the SmackDown side, all 4 people I have staying. Simply because I would have person, which is, I don't know why Aleister Black isn't in this match. And just Lars Sullivan can go fuck himself. Yeah. So I'm keeping Randy Orton in this match because, you know, I don't hate that Randy Orton's in this match. But anyway, I think that there are 2 clear favorites. One from SmackDown, one from Raw. I think it's honestly either going to be Drew McIntyre or Andrade.
Yeah.
I will, however, go with McIntyre because it seems like it's been McIntyre's time for a while now, and that Andrade, they probably want to put a mid-card title on him for a little bit, and they don't think he's quite there yet. But I will go with McIntyre.
I am also going to go with Drew McIntyre because I do think out of the ones that are in this matchup, I think this is the one that makes the most sense to win it. Also, someone pointed this out, and it makes perfect sense. This year will be the 10-year anniversary of when Vince McMahon chose him as the chosen one. So it makes sense for him.
Oh, yeah, it would come full circle.
It would make sense for it to come full circle. I'm like, you know what? That actually would be pretty cool. So I do think he's going to win it. Now, if my boy Balor won, I would not complain about that. Or even even Ricochet, if he somehow.
Honestly, the only ones I wouldn't want to win is Baron Corbin because he just is terrible. He's won it already, and they wasted that opportunity. And there was a time I liked Baron Corbin, to be quite honest. But when he won it, I think it was right for him to win it, and they wasted that opportunity. And they've wasted the Money in the Bank briefcase for the past, I would say,
2 years now.
It'd be, who won it in 16? Oh, Dean. Ambrose. Dean. Oh, yeah, okay. But even in 15, I felt like that was wasted with Sheamus winning. I like Sheamus a lot, but the whole purpose was to get Roman over, and that didn't work. And I felt like they wasted that opportunity. Obviously, 16, Dean won. It was amazing.
Yeah, and the way he won it, like the way
and just that whole the Shield, how all holding the belts in the same night within 5 minutes was amazing. 17, they wasted it with Corbin because he lost it. I think other than John Cena, which it made sense why he lost, and he didn't even lose. He won the match, but he won by disqualification. While the cash-in was a fail, that made sense. I feel like with Sandow having his cash-in fail, that was a waste. You could have given that to Cody Rhodes, given him a world title. With 17, I don't know exactly who I would have given it to. Probably, I like that they gave it to Corbin. I don't think AJ needed it. Shinsuke didn't need it because they were obviously building the Shinsuke AJ. I forget who else was in that. I think Ziggler was in that match. Probably Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were in that match.
Yeah, they were.
maybe Kevin Owens, maybe Sami Zayn. But I feel like at the time, if you were going to give it to someone to make a good heel, Baron Corbin was that person, and they wasted it by having it be a failed cash into Jinder Mahal. They could have, I think they should have had Baron beat Corbin for the title, or Baron beat Jinder for the title, or just have him wait. I don't know. I just feel like it was a wasted opportunity, obviously, because he failed. And I hate failed cash-ins, unless it's like something like Cena.
Cena's is really the only failed cash-in I thought worked because it made sense why
it made sense. Yes, it just made sense. And because like Cena didn't need the world title, that's also why I feel like Sandow could have benefited from the world title. Corbin could have benefited from the world title, but again, I would not have given it to Sandow. I would have given it to Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have done the whole Cody Rhodes face turn still. Anyway, so hopefully they don't. I feel like McIntyre is the right winner. Either it's honestly for me, it's either McIntyre or Andrade are the right winners. I feel like they would benefit it from the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I feel like McIntyre is the right winner, and that he's the guy who that should win it.
Yeah.
On to the next one, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match: Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella, and Alexa Bliss, as of today, is not in the match. According to Wikipedia, which is not always the most reliable source.
No, no, WWE even confirmed it.
It is Nikki Cross.
Yes. Yeah,
okay, it is.
The way I saw, I was on Instagram and WWE like posted that Nikki Cross replaced it.
Okay, good. So Nikki Cross. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Who honestly, I really don't care. I feel like when it comes to the women's division and stuff like this in the Battle Royal, like, they could legitimately be anybody. I did not think that Carmella would win it 2 years ago when she won it. I did not think that Alexa Bliss would win it last year, and she won it.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think that I'm not excited for this match for multiple reasons. I feel like the women that should be in this match are not in this match. And I have been very vocal about how I think Ember Moon is greener than fucking grass when it comes to mic skills, and she's very sloppy in the ring. I guess she has charisma, or her gimmick is cool. I mean, that's whatever. Her finisher's cool, but her finisher has injured people. So that's a double-edged sword right there. So I think Ember Moon is vastly overrated with how people think she's like this great wrestler, this great thing. And she's a fine wrestler. She's just very sloppy. And I've always said what I think would make a great wrestler, especially in the WWE and just especially nowadays, or even back then, is 50% of it is wrestling ability and 50% of it is charisma and mic skills and character.
Yeah, because I've always said this, if you only have one of those things, you're not going to work in the wrestling business.
Yes,
you can have great mic skills. You can have great mic skills, but if your wrestling sucks, then it's not going to work. But if your wrestling is good, and same thing with like if your wrestling's good, but your mic skills suck, it's you got to try to benefit from both.
Look at Apollo Crews, and I always use Apollo Crews as an example because I really like Apollo Crews. I think he deserves more than he gets. I do think that he is a very bland babyface. I think he is a really good wrestler. I think he would benefit from being heel, maybe from a manager. But
why can't they turn them heel? Like, I think they could do something really cool with him. Be like kind of like this kind of like braggadocious kind of like I'm an all-star athlete kind of thing. Why can't they do something like that?
And Apollo Crews can go in the ring, but because his character is garbage and he really doesn't have a character. He just is bland vanilla babyface.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like that. And that because I do like Apollo Crews because of his wrestling ability, but I can't get behind him, and I really don't care for him all that much because of his charisma and his character. Someone like Elias. I think Elias has A+ mic skills, A+ character, A+ charisma. his wrestling ability is probably B plus at most, probably B at worst.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not the best wrestler in the world. He can hold his own in the ring. He can have good matches. He can have great matches depending on who he's wrestling with. Look at him and Seth Rollins last year at Money in the Bank. I thought that was a great match, very underrated match.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that had to do with him being in the ring with Seth Rollins, but he can hold his own. He had a really, I think, fun match with Bobby Lashley last year at TLC. Granted, it was a ladder match, but it was still a fun match, and that was against Bobby Lashley of all fucking people.
The blandest fucker on the face of the planet.
And you know what? I am more invested in Elias than I ever will be in Apollo Crews. Because, quite simply, because Elias has the character. Elias has the mic skills. Elias has the charisma, and I can get behind that, and I love that. And he can go in the ring. He is serviceable in the ring. He is solid in the ring. He can hold his own in the ring. Someone like Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke is greener than fuck. She's always been greener than fucking grass. She's always been like terrible in the fucking ring. Terrible. But like I always thought like Dana Brooke had good mic skills. I've always said like the one good thing about Dana Brooke is her mic skills. But Dana Brooke is so bad in the ring, I can't get behind her.
Mm-hmm.
So like someone like Ember Moon, like someone like Natalya, she's a great wrestler, but like her mic skills are not that good. So I think Natalya, like people go, oh, Natalya's so fucking great. Like, yeah, she's a great wrestler, but she doesn't have the character. She doesn't have the mic skills for me to get behind her. And for me, personally, if I was a booker, to have her be the face of the division. Same thing with Dana Brooke. I mean, Dana Brooke, I don't know why she's in this match. I don't know why all of a sudden she's getting this push.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just makes no sense to me. Naomi, I think, might be the most overrated on the roster of the women's division. Because people treat her like she's this. One, I don't think she's a good wrestler. She's very athletic, but I don't think she's a good wrestler. She doesn't have a character that, like, okay, like she dances, like, oh, whoop-de-doo. She doesn't have good charisma.
Yeah, I actually like her as a wrestler. Like, I think I personally like her as a wrestler, but like, what is her character? Like, I
look at the whole package, and Naomi just doesn't have it.
That's always been my one problem with her. What's her character?
Yeah, and like she gets like all these pushes, and like she won the battle, but the women's battle royal for no reason. And like I saw a tweet that really just like kind of pissed me off. And it was like, oh, Naomi's back hurts because she's been carrying the SmackDown Women's Division for 3 years. No, she fucking hasn't. She won the title once, which wasn't a very memorable title reign. Or no, she won the title twice. One, it was like 14 days. Granted, it's because she got hurt, but still 14 days. And the other one wasn't that memorable. Tell me one memorable thing about that title reign, please. I can't think of anything memorable. So, okay, so like that was maybe the first year she held the title for a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily call that carrying the division per se. I would say she held the title for a little bit. She was the face of the division for a little bit. That's all I would say. At that time, I wouldn't really say there was a face. Maybe Alexa Bliss. Probably Alexa Bliss is who I would have as the face of the division at that time. I know Becky Lynch was the first champion, but Alexa Bliss was the person who was the center of attention on the women's division on SmackDown at that time.
Yeah.
Then, once Charlotte comes on, it's literally Charlotte for the whole second year. And then, Carmella won the title. And then it's been Becky Lynch and Charlotte as the face of the division for SmackDown for, I would say, the past year.
Yeah.
So to say Naomi has been carrying the women's division on her back for 3 years is just not right. It's false because she's done nothing other than win the title and win a battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me one significant thing other than those two things that she's done that says that she's carrying the division. Tell me one match. You can't. So, like, I think Naomi's vastly overrated, to be 100% honest. I've always found her overrated because I just don't think she's that great of a wrestler. I don't think she's not that good on the mic. and people treat her as like she's amazing. Like she's not. Same thing with Ember Moon. Same thing with Natalya. Like I like Natalya, I do, because she's a great enough wrestler to where I could look past her not good mic skills and her not good character. Ember Moon isn't a good enough wrestler or a good enough talker for me to do that. Same thing with Naomi. So to have them in this match and to praise them and say that they're great and this and that, it just annoys me. And like, I know I'm not the only one that thinks. I know I've talked to other people who feel like this, but again, I feel like any one of these women can win it. If I were to choose one just based off of what I've heard, who I think they might give it to, I'm going to choose Bayley. And it's no other reason to. I really can see them giving it to Bayley for some fucking reason. I could also see him giving it to Mandy Rose. Probably.
Mandy Rose should not be in this matchup. It should be Sonya Deville, but whatever.
I do also have who I think, because again, I like Mandy Rose a lot. I think Mandy Rose should be in it, but Sonya Deville should be in it. I think Asuka and Kairi Singh should also be in this. They're not doing anything as a tag team right now. Why not the fuck have them in it instead of fucking Ember Moon or fucking Dana Brooke? I also think Ruby Riott should be in this match. And why the fuck not have Sarah Logan in this match? You know? Yeah, I think it's a mistake that Ruby Riott's not in this match. I've always been a defender of Ruby Riott. I think it's the mistake that Sonya Deville is in this match. But no, you have Ember Moon, Naomi, and Dana Brooke in this fucking match. Instead of the two people who actually have good characters and can wrestle. But anyway, I'm going with Bayley. Because I don't know, I just have a feeling it's Bayley. No other reason. I have
a feeling it's gonna be. I have a feeling too. It's gonna be Bayley. Honestly, like
because like with these matches,
the ones that are in this matchup.
I'm sorry, you can go.
Just out of the ones that are in this matchup, it just feels like this kind of makes the most sense, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like they have no fucking clue what they're doing with the fucking women's division. So it could be anybody. Anyway.
Who the fuck knows? They could just make Carmelo fucking win it again. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyway, on to the next match. Roman Reigns versus Elias.
I don't really.
They have to give it to Roman. I mean, they're trying to build.
To be honest, I don't really care about this matchup too much.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for Elias because Elias is one of my favorite wrestlers, and I know this probably isn't going to be a good match because, again, like Roman. I mean, who knows? Maybe it will be, but Roman isn't the best wrestler. And like I said, Elias isn't the best wrestler, so it's probably not going to be that good of a match. But Roman's winning.
Yeah, I see Roman winning. Like it
unless Shane interferes.
Yeah, but I'm almost 100% sure it's going to be Reigns, honestly. But I'm not really too excited. I mean, I like both guys a lot, but I don't know. Just the build up to this has been just kind of meh to me. Just kind of seems like, we need to throw Roman into a feud with someone. So that's what kind of feels like to me.
On to the next match. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Again, I'm still kind of going back and forth. Like, I want to go with Becky, but I also want to go with Charlotte. Because I feel like they want to do the Becky 2 belts thing for a while. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it back to Charlotte. I think it would be a mistake giving it back to Charlotte. I think they should do the 2 belts thing for a while. At least till SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I'm going with Becky. I feel like... And again, I mean, this could be a mistake, but I don't know. I just feel like it should be Becky. And
I don't know why, but I feel like they're going to give it to Charlotte, man. I feel like they're going to pull, like what you said, they're going to pull a Seth Rollins thing where it's like Rollins wins one of the matches and then he loses another.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I'm going with Becky.
Because I thought they were going to keep both belts on Rollins for a little bit, but then, he lost it literally like a month later, so who knows?
To the next match, a steel cage match, Miz versus Shane. I really don't know, to be honest.
I'm going to say Miz wins it because I feel like that just makes the most sense, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I really don't have an opinion, to be honest, but yeah, I agree.
I mean, cool. I guess this feud has been a lot better than I could have ever expected to be. I'm like a lot more interested than I ever thought I would be in this feud, but it should be a nice match. Will be the funny enough, will be the second steel cage match I'll ever witness live, so that's pretty cool. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I guess it could be fun.
Yeah.
Next match. Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. I feel like it's too early. They have to give Kofi.
Oh yeah, they gotta give Kofi the win.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they had Owens wins because I feel like Vince would be like, "Oh, we gave it to him. That's good enough."
Yeah, knowing Vince, but I really do think they want to really try to have Kofi hold on to the title for at least until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with your boy Kofi Kingston on this one.
Yeah, next match for the United States title. Rey Mysterio versus Joe. I know I said Mysterio won it last time, but he was hurt, so he's gonna win it this time.
Yes, I think Rey is going to win the United States title this time around.
Yeah, and on to the next match. We're really blowing through these because I mean we really don't have much to say about them. For the Cruiserweight title, Tony Nese versus Ariya Daivari. I'm going with Tony Nese because I feel like they just gave him the title. So
yeah, I'm going with Tony Nese as well. This should be a fun match to witness. I like I said, I enjoy the cruiserweights a lot, so I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, and the last match was just a tag team match, not for the tag titles, just a tag team match. Daniel Bryan.
It's just a tag team match. I thought it was for the titles.
No, it just says tag team match.
Oh.
But anyway, I'm going with it's Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos. I'm going with Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
Same. I don't know why they're. I mean, I get it because the Usos are on Raw, but why not? Like, well, why are they involved in this match? And why not just put like some tag team from SmackDown? I think.
Yeah, who knows? But anyway, I got nothing because I literally have nothing to say about this match. Anyway, that's it for the predictions.
That's a lot of notes.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah,
this is just the thing outside.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I wasn't attending this, I wouldn't be really that excited for this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm like
on Sunday. So,
but the only real reason I'm really excited for this pay-per-view is because it's the first one I'm ever attending live. So, yeah. Anyways, people are gonna be fucking watching the Game of Thrones series finale anyway. So I don't even know why WWE was stupid enough to put this on the fucking day of the Game of Thrones finale anyway. So.
Yeah.
Did they really? Like, no offense. Like, did they really think like, oh, like many people are gonna, like, oh, like I like, why did they have it like last week or maybe like the week after? Like,
yeah, who knows? Vince is retarded.
Does Vince not know that this is like the biggest show in the world and most people are gonna be paying attention to that?
Anyway, on to our top 5.
Oh, Jesus.
Like I said, top 5 Money in the Bank cash-ins. Same rules as always. If we have the same thing at the same placement, we will go over it together.
Hell yeah.
I'll start first and then you go.
Do you got any honorable mentions?
I do have 2 honorable mentions. The first one being The Miz. I really enjoyed that cash-in.
Okay.
Because he did hold on to the briefcase for a long, long time.
He did.
And I also got CM Punk when he cashed in Jeff Hardy.
We don't talk about that one.
Because it's because just Hardy like finally won the title and then gets cashed in on it, and I like by CM Punk. And that was a great heel turn, and it was a great feud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like slowly the start of like Punk becoming heel and like the start of like their feud and shit. So.
And they had that great ladder match at SummerSlam. This was just a great moment, great feud. And my third is like I said, John Cena. Thought that it's the only one like failed one that I like. I like how because not many times do they announce the cash-in. It's only happened 3 times. Once we will probably go over later. Yeah. But also John Cena and Braun Strowman. And I liked how Cena did it on Raw 1000 against CM Punk, and he ended up winning the match, but he didn't when it was a failed cash in because it was by disqualification.
Yes.
Anyway,
but I do have a few honorable mentions before we get into your number 5. My honorable mentions are, like you said, The Miz. I remember seeing that cash in live. And was well, not in person, but I remember watching.
Yeah, I remember. I know what you mean.
Like I was like, oh, like Randy beat Wade Barrett. I was like, oh shit! Like I saw Miz come down. Him winning the title. It was a cool moment because we never would have expected like a guy like the Miz to win the WWE title. So it was a pretty cool moment. Speaking of Randy Orton's cash in, I actually really enjoy his cash in a lot. I like how it was done and shit. So. That one's there. And last but certainly not least, CM Punk's from 2008 when he cashed in.
That was the Edge one?
That was the Edge one.
Okay.
Because it was a nice moment because like I kind of said with Miz, like Punk was a guy that, it was really surprising that he won the briefcase in 2008, and it was a nice moment that he won the title. And even though I make the joke, we don't speak about the Hardy one. It was a great cash in. It was.
And the reason I do mention it is because I think it was genius that they had Hardy, who's his ultimate underdog, who again is someone that you never expected to win the title, finally win the title, and CM Punk cashes in, turns heel, and they have this great.
And it was great. It was like a real, and like it was possibly like the best way they could like start off that feud between the both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
your number 5.
My number 5 is Rob Van Dam. That's
also my number 5 actually.
Oh, nice, awesome. So Rob Van Dam was the second ever cash in. And I like how it was different than the first one because Money in the Bank cash-ins, they really are known for you surprise the opponent. You come out after they're beaten or whatever. After they had a long match, after they had a grueling match, and you come out and surprise. But RVD was the first person to announce his cash-in, and he did it at, ECW One Night Stand in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
And Philly against John Cena, and it was crazy. You didn't know if he was going to win or not, and he ended up winning, and I think it was just a great moment. I love this one because of how different it is, because he announced it, because again, like a lot of them are just surprises. So the fact that he announced it, I think holds it in the top 5 in my opinion, and the fact that how great the match was and how hot the crowd was, and what a moment it was, makes it into my top 5.
I pretty much say the same thing because, like, with the previous guy, we'll mention him later on in the list. When he did his cash in, it was like surprise, bitch. It was kind of like after a grueling match. But when Rob Van Dam won it, he was the second guy to ever win it. He was like, no, I want to win this in a fair kind of way. So let me announce when I'm going to do my cash in, and I want to be in my hometown, not hometown, but my home turf, of ECW. And it was a great moment because, it's the infamous moment where John Cena gets just fucking heckled the entire time. And like one of my favorite moments of all time is when he throws the shirt and everybody just keeps on throwing it back at him. That's like one of my like all-time favorite moments. And and the matchup was great, and it was really genius. Edge got involved, basically costing Cena the title. Paul Heyman coming in to do the 3 count. It was a great moment. And it was a great cash in. It was it's very different from a lot of the ones that have happened over the years, and stuff like that. I believe this is one of the only 3 times where someone has announced their cash in.
Yeah, the only other 2 was John Cena and Braun Strowman, and they both failed in their cash in when they announced it beforehand.
So Rob Van Dam. So out of the 3, Rob Van Dam's the only one that succeeded when announced.
Yeah, and it's different because he did announce it beforehand, but the fact that he announced it and won, I think that holds it above most.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it definitely deserves to be on this list because it was not only a memorable cash-in, but just one of the most memorable moments in general, to be honest.
All right. Is that it for your number 5?
Hell yeah.
All right, on to my number 4, which is one we mentioned, or at least I kind of talked about a little bit earlier, and that is Dean Ambrose.
That's also my number 4.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
All right, so I talked about it before. I mean, Dean Ambrose. I mean, I remember when the Shield debuted, and I'm sure you probably remember this too. Everybody was saying how they could see all three of these guys being future world champions. Like how these guys are future world champions. They're eventually going to get the title and whatnot. And it was pretty evident that Reigns was the guy. Like Reigns was definitely going to get it, and he did get it. But and Rollins had the briefcase before.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that I knew he was going to get it, but it was just kind of sad because Ambrose has always been my favorite out of the three. And to have him be the one to not win it, always come up short, kind of upset me. And I go, will he win it? Will he not? And I started having doubts, and then he won it, and I go, oh shit. And then, Rollins and Reigns had that, and that's probably the best Roman Reigns match of Roman Reigns' career. Was the one he had with Seth at Money in the Bank, 2016, and I was one. That was a great match, and Seth won that, which was a huge shock in itself. And then Ambrose comes out and cashes in, and the fact that all three Shield members held the title one night, pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And the fact that and I always said, and my friend said this to me first, and I agree with him. If Ambrose were to win the WWE title, it should be by pinning Rollins, and I love the fact that he did it by pinning Rollins, because who's the one that turned his back on him? Rollins, Ambrose had this great feud with Seth Rollins. So the fact that he finally got his revenge by stealing pretty much the WWE title from Seth Rollins was great.
Fantastic. Yeah. I pretty much agree with everything you said. And one of the only speaking of three, one of the only three people to cash in, to win the briefcase and cash in the same night.
Yes.
The other two were Kane and Alexa Bliss. This was great, and this is definitely my favorite out of like the three cash-ins in the same night. Just like the way it was played up, Rollins beat Reigns for the title. Rollins is celebrating, and then we hear Dean's music. Dean just comes up from behind, and just beats him with the briefcase, and hits the Dirty Deeds 1, 2, 3, wins the title. And it was just an awesome moment because, like you said, all three members of the Shield won the title. Had the title in the same night. And it was awesome. It was a great moment, and the crowd went crazy. It definitely deserves to be up here as one of the best cash-ins of all time, because just the way it was played out and the way that everything was done, it was just done perfectly.
Yes.
And like you said too, if Ambrose was going to be anybody for the title, it had to be Rollins, and they did it perfectly.
Yes. All right. Anything for your number 4?
Nope. I think that's about it.
All right, my number 3 may surprise some people. My number 3 is Dolph Ziggler.
That's also my number 3.
I knew you knew that was my number 1, but it is indeed my number 3.
I'm actually shocked because you'll probably explain the reason.
Yes. For those who don't know, I was actually live in attendance for this cash-in. Now, actually, I'll let you go first, and then I'll explain why this made my list.
All right, so now I love this cash-in because this was at the time when I still love Ziggler, but this was at the all-time high when I was the hugest fan of him. I was like, when is he going to cash in this damn briefcase? And then it happened the night after WrestleMania. The dude comes out, Alberto Del Rio, his leg is injured, and it's it's amazing. I love how they did that. And Dolph comes out, cashes in the briefcase. The crowd went crazy, which I'm pretty sure you were there. You can attest to it. But the crowd went crazy. Dolph winning the world title. It was a great moment. It's such a shame that his title reign wasn't as great as we hoped it be, but there was reasons behind that and shit. But that moment is still going to be ingrained into a lot of our heads as one of the greatest cash-ins of all time.
Yes. Now, let me just explain to you what led up to this for me. So this was the night after WrestleMania 29, which was held at WrestleMania 29 was held at the same place this past WrestleMania 35 was. For those who don't know, I was at WrestleMania 35. Now, I was not able to attend WrestleMania 29 because I was only a junior in high school, and I just did not have the money.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have the money. WrestleMania is expensive, and I just did not have the money, could not attend. But what I could do is attend the Raw after WrestleMania. Now, when I say this is probably the craziest crowd I have been a part of. It is the craziest crowd I have been a part of. And I've been part of some great crowds. I was at Royal Rumble 2015. That was a great crowd. All the Takeover Brooklyns were great crowds. The Royal Rumble in 2018 was a great crowd. But this takes the cake. This was a crazy crowd because you literally had all the fucking indie smarks in one fucking building from all across the globe.
Yes.
You have British people, Spanish people, probably people from Philly, people from all over the place.
Like everyone was there.
And pretty much, I feel like everybody who is from a place where the crowds get insane, like Chicago, Philly, California, Florida, Great Britain, Spain. They were all in one building. New Jersey also have crazy crowds. So this crowd is already amped up because one, it's the Raw after WrestleMania. They just had to sit through Randy Orton versus Sheamus, which was where the crowd really went nuts.
Yeah,
chanting for everybody, chanting for everything. Fun fact, I started that HBK chant, so when you go back and watch that match and hear the HBK chant, that was me who started that.
Oh, my boy.
Anyway, so you have Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter. And the whole time, what are people chanting? We want Ziggler. And, people really want Ziggler to just cash in already. They wanted him to cash in at WrestleMania. That did not happen. And he just held this briefcase what seemed like forever. It legitimately seemed like forever. He held on it to a long, long time, and people just wanted to cash in already.
Mm-hmm.
And, Alberto Del Rio ends up winning the match, but his ankle's all messed up, or his knee or ankle or whatever is all messed up. And for those who don't know, I went immediately to a commercial break after the match. Well, when you're sitting in the crowd, you don't know when it goes to a commercial break.
Yes. So
all I remember is everybody legit was like, some people were standing, some people were sitting, but I think the majority of people were sitting, and all you see is Alberto Del Rio in the corner. So we're like, all right, Ziggler, now's your time to come out. And I just remember feeling very nervous because, I wanted nothing more than to see Ziggler cash in to kind of make me feel better about not going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I was saying that the whole night that Ziggler has to cash in, and I really hope he cashes in and whatnot. And I'm really nervous that he hasn't cashed in and whatnot. And I go all right, this is taking forever. And then all of a sudden his music hits and everybody go legit. It's probably, I think it's the loudest pop I've ever heard live. It's debatable with Shinsuke Nakamura winning the Rumble. Those are both insane.
Top two, it's definitely those two.
Yeah, those. I think I give the edge to Ziggler winning, cashing in and coming out. Yeah. And people were going nuts for Ziggler. And what I love is the match because legitimately, while it wasn't a long match, it still had Ziggler beaten up on, I think it was perfect. Ziggler beaten up on Del Rio, and then Del Rio coming back, hits him with the step-up enziguri, has him in the armbar, and you're like, no, could this be a fail? But then Ziggler gets out of that, counters out of that, and then hits him with the zigzag 1, 2, 3. It was legitimately perfect. The place went nuts. I will explain why it isn't my number one, because you think it would be my number one because it is there. It will always have a special place in my heart. But I'll explain why my number two. in a sec. My number 2 and 1, but Ziggler, cashing in is my number 3.
All right, sweet.
So on to my number 2. My number 2 is Edge cashing in.
Okay, wait, which one?
The first time.
Yeah, no, same. That's my number 2 as well.
And I'll tell you why. Because all right, so the first time, Edge cashing in, he's the first person to ever cash in, and I think he really set a precedent of what to do when to cash in, and he really, it's something we haven't seen before. So to see him come out and cash in when Cena was down, when Cena was hurt, after that Elimination Chamber where he was the first person ever to start the match and win.
Yeah, and he was bloodied up. He the matchup.
You really didn't know what to expect with the Money in the Bank. And Edge, again, held this for a long, long time.
Yeah, he held it from like WrestleMania 21 to like New Year's Resolution like 2006. So he held it.
So that was almost a full year. So, to have him, not do anything, you're like, what does this mean? No one really knew what it meant. And then to have him cash in on Cena while he went through this grueling Elimination Chamber right after the match, it really set the bar for things to come. And for a while, I thought it was the best, and then something else happened, and at the time it was nothing that we've never seen before, so it really shocked people, and it really made Edge into this megastar.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it really set the tone for what this briefcase can do for people. And, because Edge was, thanks to that whole Matt Hardy thing, Edge was starting to become a really villainous heel.
Yes.
And then this happened and just solidified him as a star.
Yes. And, if this cash-in doesn't go as great as it does, I don't think any of the other cash-ins happen.
Yeah.
None of the other cash-ins happened.
But it did. It worked brilliantly.
It worked perfectly, and it really... Kind of like how RVD set a trend to where, he made his different by announcing his cash-in. Edge set the trend by, just surprising people.
Yeah, he was the first surprise bitch of this whole thing. And, he just... it was perfect. While
the majorities of people's are surprises, you really find it harder to find someone who made a bigger surprise like Edge did.
Because it was like, Cena was just in this brutal Elimination Chamber match. Like I said, he got beaten pretty hard in that matchup. And, he came out the winner. He's like, oh, thank God. But then Edge just surprisingly comes out and cashes in the briefcase and wins the WWE title. Like, it still remains like one of my all-time favorite moments. It's just... It's one that solidified Edge as a megastar and one that really... solidify what this briefcase can do for people.
Yes, and without Edge's cash-in, we don't get Ziggler's. We definitely don't get CM Punk's when he cashed in against Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, and we definitely didn't get Ambrose's. We just wouldn't have any. Hell, we wouldn't even have our number 1 if it wasn't for this one.
Yes, and because if Edge's doesn't work, because Edge really set the record or the tone and really set the trend of, all right, waiting till your opponent really beat down, really out of breath, and surprising them with the cash-in. You don't have any of those. I mean, maybe you have RVDs, but I really don't think you have RVDs either. If this doesn't work as well, I don't think they would not have had it the year before. If this doesn't make Edge the megastar that he is, if this doesn't go as great as it does, he won't have any of this.
Yes.
All right, on to our number 1. I'm pretty sure we have the same number 1, which is amazing. We have the same list.
We have literally. This is the first time I think I've ever done this with someone where I have literally the exact same list from 5 to 1.
And you know what? I go back and forth between Ziggler and Edge, and the only reason I have Edge is because, again, without Edge, you don't have Ziggler.
Exactly, and you won't have number 1 either.
You wouldn't have number 1 either. And the reason I have my number 1, well, I'll explain it. My number 1, Seth Rollins.
Yes. I think we probably have the same reasons why.
We definitely do. And, the reason I have it as number 1, and without a doubt, it's always been, for a while, and I mean for a while, Ziggler was my number 1. And I mean for a long, long time. And even after Rollins cashed in, but I really thought about it, not like recently as in, like as we were doing this list, even the past couple of years, I thought about it. And I go, you know what? There was nothing like Rollins' cash in. Rollins is the first person to cash in at WrestleMania.
And so far, the only person during a match too.
And not only is he so far the first and only person to do it at WrestleMania, he's so far the first and only person to do it during the middle of a match.
Like literally, like because now I'm gonna be honest, I really wasn't looking forward to WrestleMania 31 all that much.
Oh, nobody was. And honestly, WrestleMania 31 is one of my favorite WrestleManias. And I always joke I always say this, and I go, I think a reason to how great it was is because my expectations were so low that it really surprised the fuck out of me.
Same, it was so low for this WrestleMania. I'm like, this show rocks.
The build-up to every single match was garbage. You look back to how they were building up, Roman versus Brock. It was terrible. You look how they, were building up that Intercontinental ladder match. It was garbage. Triple H versus Sting. Like, who was asking for that match? Rusev versus Cena. Like, who cares? Like, Bray Wyatt and Undertaker was the only one, only because Bray Wyatt is so great. But like, you look at a lot of these matches, like, I just was not looking forward to. But that ladder match was insane.
And then the show happened, and you're like, what?
That was insane.
Yeah, and then the main event was the match that surprised the fuck out of me the most.
Oh, yeah, because, we're like, oh, this is the coronation of Roman Reigns. Nobody wants this to happen. But, Brock Lesnar beats the fuck out of Roman. But we're like, all right, but here comes the Roman comeback. And Roman does have that comeback.
But however,
Rollins' music hits and everybody goes insane. And you're like, holy shit. Like, nobody expected this.
And that motherfucker sprints. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, as much as I didn't think Edge's was going to happen, literally, the night that it did, I expected even less that Seth was going to happen.
Same, because it's like, I would have maybe been like, okay, maybe after the match, not during the match.
Yeah, and it was because it was during the middle of the match.
Like, literally, he saw both of them down. He's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it during the middle of the match, and he does.
And he did it during the middle of the match, and again, nobody had seen somebody cash in at WrestleMania. So the fact that I don't really think maybe it won't ever happen. Who knows? But it did happen, and the fact that it was during the middle of the match, I think elevates it. And the fact that nobody wanted Lesnar to win, and nobody wanted Roman to win. And the fact that we're like, all right, it's a lose-lose situation either way. Like, how can they fix this? They fixed it by having Seth Rollins come in and save it, and that's how they fixed it.
Mm-hmm. It's just, it will be ingrained to me as one of my favorite WrestleMania moments of all time.
Oh yeah, it's up there for me with now Daniel Bryan winning, with Kofi Kingston winning. It's up there.
It's just amazing. Literally, the dude, I had no idea that he was gonna because I'm just watching this match. I'm like, oh, this is a really great matchup. I'm enjoying this, and then boom, Rollins' music hits, and he just comes down. I'm like, what is happening? Oh my god, he's gonna cash in the middle of the matchup, isn't he? And it was just a crazy moment. None of us saw this coming.
Yeah.
Literally, none of us saw this coming.
Yeah, and it really saved the WrestleMania and the match.
Yeah. And this has been a great WrestleMania, but how are they going to do this ending? Because I know no one's going to be satisfied with the ending.
Exactly. And we talked about how Edge raised the bar when it comes to the cash-ins. Well, Seth jumped over that bar and really cleared it and raised it high even more. And I really don't think I'd really be surprised if they have a cash-in as perfect as this, as fantastic as this, because like I said, it happened at WrestleMania, which was a shock within itself, and it happened in the middle of a match.
And also, Rollins did hold on to the briefcase for a long time too.
Yeah, and he held on to it for a long time. And just the fact that he pretty much stole it. Michael Cole said it was the heist of the century.
Because it was the heist of the century.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I love it. It's easily my number one.
Yes, it's easily my number one too.
All right,
that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed our predictions and hope you enjoyed our list. Please join us next Tuesday when we go over the results and give our review.
Hell yeah! I'm excited.
I know you are.
I know. I keep on mentioning, but can you blame me? Like it's the first time I'm going to a pay-per-view, but like,
yeah,
I'm hyped.
I'm excited to watch the Game of Thrones finale. That's what I'm excited for.
Oh, what? You're not gonna try and spot out your boy the entire time?
What happened?
I said you're not gonna try and spot out your boy the entire time.
No, I'll do that after the fact.
Okay.
I'll probably do that on Monday.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please join us next time. Double Nine, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on my channel, FilmFandle599. I do content on that channel too. And thank you once again, Andrew Hayes, for having me on.
Yes, and like I said, please join us next Tuesday when we will have results and review for Money in the Bank 2019. And please remember, holler if you hear me.
Yes.